Hello everyone, it's Jolly here. Today I am bringing you my Pokemon Unite Pokemon tier list. I'm just gonna go over like some of the Pokemon that I think are the best in the game and kind of highlight those that you kind of want to use to climb to Masters. Or these are the Pokemon I've seen in Masters the most, and I think they're gonna be the most useful. So with that being said, let's begin. So I'm gonna put all the Pokemon that have not been released yet on the D tier, just because we don't really have that much info on there. There's like videos out there about their moves and stuff, but because we haven't seen them in game, because we don't know if they've been adjusted or not, we're just gonna keep this in D tier. Um, as for Venusaur, Venusaur is a good Pokemon. General, the buffs have helped him, but he's still not as good as some of the A and S tier Pokemon. I'm going to put that in the B tier. Gengar is a good jungler. Definitely better than B tier Pokemon. He's able to carry games late game, especially he's able to take down the squishies or most of the attackers, kind of like Venusaur, Pikachu, Gardevoir, Absol. He's able to go in and do his hex combo. So I'll put him in A tier. He's not S tier because I have other jungle picks that are a lot better than Gengar. Mr. Mime, I'm gonna put him B tier. Like one tricks make him A tier, S tier for sure. But he has a good kit. He has a lot of shields. Actually, I'm gonna put him in A tier because his shields, his reflex, his damage is surprisingly well. So if someone doesn't know how to play against Mr. Mime, they're gonna get destroyed in lane. So I'm gonna put Mr. Mime in the A tier. Snorlax, I would still think he's the best defender in the game, hands down. His kit, like his shield or his shield is just really good. He's able to just block your opponents, able to push them out of the base. So that's why I put Snorlax in the S tier. Um, I don't think there's any defender that's better than Snorlax. Maybe Blastoise might be a defender that might be better than Snorlax, but as for now, Snorlax is the best defender in the game. Um, his versatility, his damage, depending on the item build, if you give him a muscle band, buddy barrier, score shield, he's able to do a lot with that. And he's good for zoning your opponent. So you're trying to get Drena or Zapdos, he's your defender you want to have in your team. He's just really good at zoning them. Same thing as Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime is one of the good um, Pokemon that helps with zoning, but Snorlax is a tier ahead. Gardevoir, I'm gonna put in C tier. So the reason I put Gardevoir in there is like her ult is really good for objectives and for team battles and stuff like that, but it's really conditional. Like you need to get ahead, you need to farm, you need to beat your laners. But early game Gardevoir, like the routes, is horrible. Like you can't really do much with routes. You're just gonna get pushed in lane. And what I've noticed a lot of routes, because they need to farm and get ahead and get levels, they don't rotate to objectives early game. Same thing with Venusaurs. These players, they because they need to farm and get ahead, they don't rotate to the objectives, and that makes it hard for you to kind of get Dreadnoughts or Rotoms, right? Because they're not rotating. Absol, I'm gonna put him in the B tier. The buffs have helped, but his late game he just falls off late, and that's something you don't want to have in a Pokemon. Their potential to fall off late, because you want to have something that would help you get objectives, right? But so things like Gengar beat Absol late game. Things like Cinderace, things with like Greninja, they beat Absol in late game. Like early game, Absol's great. He snowballs. He does a lot of damage. He's able to take out all the attackers most of the time, but if he's CC'd, he can't do anything. So your opponent has someone like a Slowbro or a Wigglytuff or a Pikachu or Ninetales, anything with the CCs, or even Snorlax, right? He's just gonna get CC'd and he's gonna be taken out because it's really squishy. So that's why I put him in the B tier. Um, okay. Uh, he's borderline A B, so I say B plus A minus. Garnchomp is has a lot of damage. He's really good late game. The buffs haven't done too much for him. Um, Late game, like almost all attackers, they once they hit level 9, level 10, they start getting into the game. They're able to fight and they do a lot of damage. Their all moves are really useful, or the unite moves. But like I said, it's kind of like the same thing with apps, like Venusaur and Gardevoir. It's just early game is just not that good. Um, so if their early game's not good, they're just gonna be like a weak link in your team. That's why you don't want to main Garchomp for the most part, just because of the fact that yeah, it just needs a lot of resources to get into the game. But late game, he does become a bit powerful. Lucario, I think Lucario is probably the best all rounder in the game, so I'm gonna put him in S tier. Just the way he's able to combo off using extreme speed, is just really useful. Useful. It's very versatile. You're able to attack multiple opponents. You extreme speed to each one, and you're able to do a lot of damage. So his combo game is really good. Unlike some of the all rounders like Charizard, Garchomp, Machamp at times, right? They're not dependent on evolving or leveling up as much as them. Because he does have his kit early on, he's a lot better. Crustle, uh, Crustle is an interesting one. I'll say he's A plus S minus. I'm gonna put him in the A tier. Crustle is really good to zone out your opponents. Actually, I'm gonna put him in S tier, especially in master rank. I've seen a lot more Crustles, and the reason that is because one is the Snorlax the nerfs, right? But two is that Crustle has a really good kit. His stealth rock and the way to the way he stuns, or even his rock tomb, the way he blocks off the opponents. He's really good at zoning them out. And he has a lot of damage too. So this combo is really good, and he's one of the best defenders. I still think Snorlax is a bit better than him, but Crustle's a really close second. So if you don't want to meet Snorlax as a defender, you could definitely mean Crustle. I highly recommend. I've seen really good Crustles. Greninja, like I said, Greninja is one of the best junglers. Same thing as Cinderace. Hands down, they're the best junglers in the game. They have a lot of movement speed, they have a lot of damage. Their Unite moves, both of them, are really good. So you're able to steal Dreadnoughts, steal Zapdos, and just get a lot of the objectives in case your team is falling behind. There's countless times where my team was losing, and because of their Unite moves, well, we were able to get Zapdos and steal it from the other team. So I put both of those in S rank, and these are flexible picks too because you could take them as attackers or you could take them as junglers. And because of that versatility, I think they're a lot better than Gengar. Because Gengar in laning or absolute laning is not that good. Um, but yeah, I definitely recommend either Cinderace or Greninja in S rank. Talonflame, Talon the buffs did help, and as soon as he got the buffs, a lot more people started playing Talonflame. But right now, like as you go in master rank and stuff like that, he falls off. You don't really see him in games. You mostly see Greninjas, Cinderaces, Zero Auras, Jungles, sometimes Gengars, but for the most part, you don't see Talonflame up there. He does a lot of damage. He could steal objectives really easily, but like I said, he's not as good as someone like Greninja or Cinderace. Um, he yeah, his fly could help him, but Cinderace and Greninja just have more than Talonflame can offer. Like I said, Talonflame also cannot go on lanes though. He needs levels, he needs farm on his own, so that's why I do not put him on the S rank. Um, Charizard, I'm gonna put him in the A rank. He's slightly better than Garchomp in terms of an all rounder. Once he gets his Unite move, he's able to do a lot of damage, and he could like get 2 kills, 3 kills, 4 kills. I've seen him just turn around just late game. Like he farms, turns the game around, and he's able to carry games. So I put him in A tier. He's not as good as Lucario in his kit and his versatility because he does need his Unite move. But once that Unite move is not there, he doesn't offer much. Whereas Lucario can still combo off using his Bone Rush and his extreme speed. Zero Aura is probably the best jungle in the game right now. And the reason that is because he counters every other jungler and all the other squishy Pokemon. So he counters Cinderace, he counters Greninja, he counters Gengar, he counters Absol, he counters Gardevoir, Venusaur, Talonflame. with his discharge. If he's able to get in the fight and use his discharge, then the discharge would just do a lot of damage all around to every Pokemon. And there's times where your opponents have both a Venusaur, a Gardevoir, or they have a Greninja and Cinderace, and they're all in the fight. Your discharge is going to bring them at least to like a fourth or a half health, and you're going to be able to take them out, or your teammates are going to be able to take them out a lot faster. And he's a game changer. He's really good at 1v1s. He does need to get close, but like I said, once he gets discharged, he just goes off. So that's why I think he's probably the best jungler in the game right now. He might get a nerf because of that. His discharge is like really strong. A lot of people might disagree with this, but I personally don't find her useful. I'm trying to remember her name as well. I can't remember. I probably remember in a couple of minutes. But Eldegoss, there you go. So Eldegoss, I personally don't like healers in the game. Just because they're really conditional, and the reason I say they're very conditional is because like they're really useful in team fights and when you have a squad of five. But when you don't have a team fight, you can't really bring these to solo queue because players don't know how to play around them. So you might be in there and you're just gonna be squishy, you're just gonna be dying off, and it doesn't really work for solo queue. Like I'd rather have someone like sorry, I forgot Clefable hasn't come out, but I'd rather have someone like a Wigglytuff or someone like Crustle or Snorlax or Mr. Mime because of their form of CC. Their CC helps. Like healing is great, but if they fall behind, then they're not gonna do too much healing. They're not gonna have their moves, and you're just gonna lose fights because they're just gonna not be able to fight. They're just gonna be on the side doing other things. So that's why I don't like Eldegoss and Blissey. Um, but if you're using like squads of five, then these are definitely S ranks, right? Because their usefulness increases a lot. But if you're not running squads of five, say you're doing solo queue, duo queue as you're trying to climb to masters, then you don't want these in your team. You definitely don't. Um, it's only when we have a team of five because there's too many games where we've lost because they were never able to they were never able to kick into gear. They were never able to get the moves or use their healing. They're usually 4 to 5 levels behind the opponents, right? I mean, of course, there's always exceptions. There's like that one great Blissey, that one great Eldegoss that could do anything and could play around the team, and that's great. Then there, go for it. You make this D rank Pokemon into an S rank for solo queue, but for the most part, people that play this right now, it's not helpful. Especially with the nerfs to Eldegoss. I think the nerfs really hit hard. But like I said, if you're running a squad of five, then these Pokemon here, Blissey and Eldegoss, increases to S rank because of the fact that you're playing on a squad of five. So you're able to communicate, you're able to rotate, you're able to fight these fights, right? But in solo queue, like I said, so people don't rotate. You never get those team fights. You have Pokemon topside who are just farming, doing their own thing, or your jungler is just farming your own thing, and you need to get Dreadnought, right? Having a Blissey and Eldegoss Dreadnought at Dreadnought while you have one other Pokemon is not gonna help. You'd rather have someone like a Snorlax or a Crustle that could prevent your opponents from getting into the area so you can secure the objectives. That's why I don't put those too much on my tier list. Pikachu, I'm going to put Pikachu in A rank. The reason I put Pikachu in A rank is because of the fact that he's really good early game. If you put him together with someone like Ninetales, they have a lot of CC and they'll dominate lane. So they'll get like 3 to 4 levels ahead, and then you're able to finish the game. Usually when that happens, your opponent's FF. So, and I personally also like Pikachu because of that. Usually, whenever I play Pikachu, there's a Ninetales or a Pikachu and a Snorlax top side. We're able to push top, and then we're able to push bot side, and then your opponent's usually FF. Because they don't want to deal with the CC. They don't want to deal with like how far they're already pushed in the game. So I still put Pikachu in A tier. When it comes to this, I'm gonna move Eldegoss into C tier just because it might be a slightly better than Blissey. Just because of her ultimate, the way she could steal a Zapdos, but that's like the small minuscule difference. Clamorant, I'm also gonna put him in A tier. He has a lot of CC. He's really good. The nerfs did hurt him a bit. Like I've seen more Cinderaces, Greninjas, Pikachu's top side, Ninetales top side. Like Ninetales is a good attacker because of the CC, even though the changes and stuff. But Clamorant did get hit. He still has a lot of damage, but you don't really see Clamorant too much in the game. Um, as for support, Wigglytuff is the best support. He's better, definitely is miles better than Eldegoss and Blissey and solo queue. Just because he's able to sing, right? If you sing, then you put your opponents to sleep, and you're just able to do a lot of your teammates are able to do a lot of damage. But like I said, supports they're in an interesting spot when it comes to like solo queue because like you are highly dependent on your team, right? Because if you sing and your team is not there, then you're just gonna get killed. If you heal, your team retreats. You're there, you're gonna get killed. But out of all of the supports, I think Wigglytuff is definitely one of the better ones. I'm gonna bring down Mr. Mime a tad bit because I'm gonna put Slowbro actually in A tier. Slowbro is definitely a lot better than Mr. Mime. His CC, the way he's able to make your opponents not move, and then if he's partnered with like a Pikachu or a Cinderace or Greninja, they're just gonna get kills top lane, bot lane. And he has a Surf that is annoying at times. So the nerfs did hit a little, but he's one of the best supports. Like if it wasn't for those Surf nerfs, I definitely would put Slowbro in the S rank. But for now, I'm gonna put him in the A rank. Last but not least, I'm gonna put Machamp in the A rank. He's really good. The nerfs did hit him a bit. But like I said, he's a better all rounder than Garmchamp or Charizard. I would have put him on the S rank because of his flexibility, but I think he's not as good as Lucario or some of these S rank Pokemon. He's fallen off a little bit, but he does pack a punch when you do use him top in the game. He comes in clutch at times. If he's partnered with the right Pokemon, he does a lot. So like I've seen him and Snorlax do take over games. Right, you have Snorlax Shield, and then Machamp comes and does his old Unite move, and then just gets like 3 or 4 kills. Just that combo's really broken. So just for that combo, I would put Machamp topside, but for now I'm gonna leave him the A rank. I mean, look, I'm gonna I'm gonna bring Venusaur because Venusaur is just not that good. Yeah, Venusaur and Absol. I'm just gonna bring them down a tier because they're not as good as someone like Talonflame, Garchomp, and Mr. Mime. Um, yeah, just it's just really it's just like slight differences. Like for example, C tier, D tier. I wouldn't main these Pokemon. Like you want trick, then go for it, right? But they just don't provide much in solo queue. They're good for teams of 5. Like you have a 5-man or a 3-man. Then it could be slightly more useful. But for solo queue, if you're playing alone or you're playing with a duo, these would be the best Pokemon to choose. And like it does look like I have quite a bit of Pokemon in the S rank, and it's because there's different roles, so different things like defender, support, right? Like the defenders, like Snorlax, Crustle, defender, support, like Wigglytuff, all rounders, like Lucario, and then jungle, like Zero Aura, Cinderace, Greninja. These are all junglers, but they're also attackers like Ninetales. So that's kind of like why I have a bit more as strength Pokemon here. But yeah, if you want to like dominate solo queue, you want to get to masters, you definitely want to use one of these Pokemon, or even pick up a couple of them, right? Something that I've been doing solo queue because sometimes you don't get your pick because there's multiple times where someone takes Greninja, Cinderace, Aurora, and then you're stuck. You're like, okay, what else do I choose? Right? I usually go either as a defender, like with Snorlax, or Lucario as my all rounder. So that's kind of like mostly my pool right here. Like the 5 Pokemon that I use in general. I have 3 junglers and then 2 additional other roles. So it's Lucario, Snorlax, Greninja, Cinderace, Zeraora, and sometimes I use Pikachu. But that's kind of like those are my mains. That's kind of like the Pokemon I use and rotate around. Just because some of these the junglers, for example, they have a similar playstyles. Like Greninja, Cinderace, Aurora, they have similar playstyles. Snorlax is a defender, and Lucario is an all rounder. So that's usually so that's kind of like my placements of the Pokemon. Hopefully you find this video helpful. If you can, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.